Poetic devices. Poetic devices are invisible tools that work on the reader's and listener's mind. These devices are used by poets to create rhythm in order to enhance a poem's meaning or exaggerate a feeling or mood dwellings. Elements of poetry. Poetry is the most compact form of literature. A poem packs all kinds of ideas, feelings, and sounds into a few carefully chosen words. The look, sound, and language of poetry all work together to create a total effect. Commonly used poetic devices. Simile. It is an expression comparing one thing to another using the words like or as. Examples: he ran like a cat, lightly and quietly. Her blue mood passed as quickly as an afternoon rain shower. My dog is as smelly as dirty socks. Repetition. This is a device in which a word, phrase, line, or sentence which is repeated for emphasis. For example, when I was a child, I thought the new moon was a cradle, the full moon was Granny's round face, the new moon was a banana, the full moon was a big cake. Now, consonants. The repetition of consonant sounds either inside the line of a poem or at the end of a line. For example, Norm the worm took the garden by a storm this morn. The letter consonant is repeated here. Symbolism. A person, place, object, or action that stands for something beyond itself. Attribute projects use symbolism. Think colors, animals, objects that could stand for something. For example, when the battle ended, a dove flew over the ruins of the city. Assonance. This figure of speech is similar to alliteration because it also involves repetition of sounds, but this time it's vowel sounds that are being repeated. Assonance creates internal rhyming within phrases or sentences by repeated vowel sounds that are the same. Example: on a proud round cloud in white high night. Fire at the private I hired to pray in my business. The vowels are repeated here. Apostrophe. In literature, apostrophe is a figure of speech sometimes represented by an exclamation, such as "oh." A writer or speaker using apostrophe speaks directly to someone who is not present or is dead, or speaks to an inanimate object. Example: is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. You can find an exclamation mark over here. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound in words occurring near one another. Example: Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Sally sells sea shells by the seashore. Some smug slug. You can see the consonants are repeated in this line. Personification is when a writer gives human qualities to animals or objects. For example, my car drank the gasoline in one gulp. The cat laughed. The newspaper headline glared at me. Imagery is when a writer invokes the five senses. For example, the smell reminded him of rotting tomatoes. The fence was uneven, like baby teeth growing awkwardly in. Is also a simile. Metaphor is a comparison of two unlike things without using the words like or as. Example: he was a statue waiting to hear the news. She was a mother hen trying to take care of everyone around her. Hyperbole is an obvious exaggeration or overstatement. Example: I am so hungry I could eat a horse.